What's good? What's good? What's good? Hold on, let me turn my music down in my headphones. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope that everybody is having a wonderful Sunday night. Had a great weekend. Myself, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of up and down. Could have had a better, but hey, I'm alive. Cool. Can't really complain too much. But um, yeah, I'm actually kind of excited about some of these topics today. We're gonna be doing a tier ranking for the characters on Horizon Forbidden West, and I have a full playthrough. Some of the side missions, and I'm going to be uploading some side missions with no commentary, just to kind of compare the two, see how it performs for our next game that is open world and has main and side quests. So if you haven't checked those out already, please go ahead and check those out. Whenever I'm done streaming, I'll probably put a link to at least the playlist in the description down below. So if you want to check that out and maybe you missed the live stream, you'll be able to do that. Like I said, we're going to be ranking the characters on that. I might start working on a review just to kind of get that up and out the way. Also, we're going to be ranking the likelihood of cameo in the Multiverse of Madness movie that's supposed to come out this Thursday. That would be the opening day, opening night, I should say, and then going into that weekend. Me and a couple of my partners, we are actually going to get, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Friday. Friday night, got the box ticket. So I'm actually kind of excited. But yeah, man. Man, I didn't get the chance to stream yesterday. We were supposed to do a past podcast yesterday, but I didn't get the chance to stream. I had a whole lot on my plate. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you were expecting the stream and did not know, again, make sure that you are in the Discord. That is the best way to keep up with myself, schedule. Also, just to let you guys know, I have also been streaming on Twitch. Monday to Friday, I have been at about 1:30 or so p.m. Central Standard Time. We've been playing some Detroit Become Human. It's been kind of interesting. I'm really up and down. One of the best PlayStation from what I could remember. Like I said, I'd already ranked the game, but I watched someone else play the full game through, and this is my first time being able to form my own by playing the game. It's been a very experience. I've enjoyed everybody that came through. Hey, oh my Lord. My name. I remember you came last time we were out. Ghost Legend. But hi, how are you? Are doing well today? Yeah, like I said, we're gonna be going but yeah, like I said, we're gonna be going into some Multiverse of Madness, Horizon Forbidden West character play. So, how was yeah, how? So I know this stream was kind of late. I ended up starting late because I had some issues trying to get everything lined up. One of my older streams was basically overriding the new stream that I was trying to put in. It was really annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you, but aside from that, though, let's go ahead and get here. All right, so right now, have the character list pulled up. I don't think it's in any specific order here. Second. Okay. Like I said, if you have any questions about any character, ask. Also, I'm always, I'm always willing to answer questions. And I always have answered those questions in some of my playthrough, side quest, main quest, whatever it may be. So don't forget that. But we are going to start with. I'm just going to start with someone random. Let's start with the modest. Some of these characters are side characters or characters side quests. Not really pertinent to the main mission, but like modest. Did I put Talana on here? I might have missed some. We might have a part two of this because I think I might have missed, but actually I think I got. We'll see. We'll see. If I didn't get to Lana this time, I'll make sure to get whoever I missed. But yeah. So I'm modest. Honestly, honestly, he's a D tier. Actually, he's an F tier. Just because one, I don't want to say he played Talana, but he kind of played. I mean, well, I guess he did her orange. Kind of caught feelings. Apparently, a modest Talana met while she was actually like first got to the Midwest, was out to kill a hunter killer, Apex Lost Rider, and they separated ways, and I guess she got concerned because he told her going back to the Battle of the Burning Plume, where the area of the Battle of the Burning Plume, try to see if they can, you know, get some sort of resolve when it comes to their, I guess one of their close friends that they lost. I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. I don't think that he said it was, but so get that. Of course, come to the shell snapper. Lana gets a little bit. And we have to postpone the rest of the mission. Point. Now, is end up with a modest Lana, and what makes him such a character, or F-list character, is the fact that, you know, once we're able to get the mission, we're able to free whoever held captive by Regala's rebel. The person, so Amadis ended up telling Talana and Aloy, or not even telling, once he freed her, once he freed his ex, or his, you know, special friend, I don't know how he described it. I have to watch the playthrough. That's one of the missions, no commentary. I'm gonna end up uploading later. Yeah, no, she ends up telling them they used to be in a relationship, and that Battle of the Burning Blooms 5 years ago. Even though she's still alive, like everything they had at that point, it's dead and done. You know, he was able to connect with the Tanakh, no longer a member of the Karja. Of course, Modest been a member of the Karja. In the Karja at that time, while he was at the Battle of the Burning Plume, because the Karja at the time was ran by, I guess, the Mad King, you know, in regards to this person. And, you know, I mean, it was just a whole bunch of corrupt evilness, people dying for no reason. But of course, Sun King Avad ended up killing the king, usurping the throne. But neither here nor there. They finally meet up, catch up. He lets him know she's in a different path of life now. Wish you the best. There's no shot in rekindling anything. And if even were, it was 5 years ago. Like, I was already dead and gone. Your eyes to her. So, and it's kind of sad. I mean, just seeing him getting his heart ripped out in front of Talana was kind of sad. I mean, you know, Talana felt bad for him, and rightfully so. I mean, I guess, again, I'd have to go back and watch, because depending on how he worded it, I think it sounded more so like he was trying to find one of his buddies, one of his battle buddies. But like I said, I'd have to go back and watch. Thank you, brother. I didn't know the word. I thought it was like a nice word. I always said, he didn't say, sorry, my brother. He said you that. I really didn't know what it meant. Oh, gotcha. Well, I guess what word were you trying to say? What word did you say? Yes. Um, but yeah, no. Uh, so yeah, F character, terrible character. I mean, honestly, I don't know if they have a DLC. I'm not sure. Try to further that narrative. It's interesting the fact that now he has to cope with the fact that other at the time 5 years ago does not want anything from him or Karja or anything like that. Of course, Talana being a Karja, they have more in common now. They could probably build something, but right now it's kind of got broken up over a 5-year-old relationship. I beyond me, honestly. um, next up, we're gonna save Aloy for last. That's the main character, of course. You would expect that because you're playing the whole game. I mean, there are certain scenarios the main character good. Yeah. So we're gonna go with Beta. Beta is a. I'm gonna say Beta. A Beta. No higher because she got on my nerves. I was honest with Aloy whenever we first saved Beta after she hit herself as far as um she's freaking out about everything. I mean, it was life or death. It was the end of the world at stake because of the part. And not only that, but unknowingly, Nemesis, the AI that has faced as far as why they were on Earth in the first place. But even though she got on my nerves, did end up coming up with a plan that helped them save the world. But because she caused someone else that gonna go with gonna go with I mean, I guess she didn't really directly cause it. She was just part of the reason that there she couldn't he was there he couldn't finish. I'm gonna put Beta. I could knock her more because the person that died was a character that I thoroughly enjoyed first and second game, but I guess I'm gonna keep that. We'll put her at her chance to work her way back. Now blame 5. He had like 5. Low average. An F like that's if you did something negative. I can't. But yeah, no. Play was fine. Play him. So here, let him have it. He'll be at the bottom. Can't play her, Beta did not. Aside from pointing in the right direction. Now Deca is a W. Deca is definitely a W. Not only a warrior, she was actually in the field in the trench. Never, regardless, rebel. Regardless, rebel. Pushed up in. But basically, they tried to attack Akaro. And I mean, they were holding their own. Of course, Aloy was the one that kind of hit side because main character. You know what I mean? But not only that, she has her own side mission where she kind of vouched for her stunt. I don't know if everybody played. Again, that's another one of them side missions. No commentary. I go. Check. Yo, left out. My bro, your voice is not clear. Oh, let me see. Second. What? Hello, 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 hello. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Is the music too loud? I need to know if the music is louder. I can cut the. But when I'm looking at my capture, it sounds like everything's okay. Let's check my health. Yeah, everything should be good. Excellent. Yeah. Uh, let me know what it sounds like. You know, maybe if it's cutting out or what the situation. Uh, but yeah, back to the point though. Um, here, yeah. Back on deck. So yeah, she has her own side mission where she's kind of going with everybody. Uh, not going through everybody. I should say she's going trying to defend her son. Her son basically was a traitor. Um, decided to side with Regala's rebellion. Even though he knew his mother was a part of her Caro, well, Caro's like defense, I guess, for a lack of better. So pretty good judge of character. I mean, he did some pretty bad, right? But he kind of knew to, or she kind of knew to take a step back. It's her son. She knew there was something else at play. Never myself and Deca, along with the person that was holding him captive. Oh no, not Deca, not Deca. Thinking of a separate. So myself and held the son captive once he was captured. We all went up because apparently they were on the plot to ambush the village that he was held at. Went checked, everything checked out. Had a big trimmer tub, as well as other machines as well, that we had to deal with in the area. Fun mission, I'm not gonna lie. There was part of well, I don't caught up with how, but Deca as a character trusted his son and it ended up paying off. Took care of the plotted ambush, came back, and she was able to be free. Came back, and also kind of unique was the area where you can find Hikaru. There's a hologram set up where it kind of explains how right? Um, one of the big things they, I guess, worship are like the wings of Tin, which basically futuristic, like futuristic time. Um, of course, we ride around. We have pilots, like that. I collect black box space. Last minute, couple pilots before they crash land. Um, there's somebody that kind of goes to the black box towards etc. So, but worship does, so they were able to fly the kind of made Aloy special because she's able to control a stun wing and actually glide in battle whenever Gala came in trying, for lack of better terms, give her trouble. Deca, I'll give her and we may have to come back to a couple. Where we want to put next up, Aaron. Aaron is solid, of course, solid. I wish he had more of a role, but maybe there may be skills that kind of gives him more character. Because when we first meet him, he kind of got tossed up by a little. Did help us get the embassy started. Going playing song, beginnings of the Forbidden. If you do the rebel camp, wipe out all the rebel camp, is the one that helps you take down the main person boss for aligning part Gala's rebel. Sons of Keith, Sons of Keith deals with silence. We'll get more into that. But they were given technology to help them control teams, set up camps in different areas to kind of control the area around them. So, but yeah, he helps you out with that. Of course, he plays a role in the main story, able, help you save or help you and Carlos save Beta, and he also helps with the final storm, as far as space. So, and also he kind of fun-loving person. So his personality, him, I thought it was great. You know, it's a very dialogue, but where his character shines, he can also play Drax. I wish they had a gave him more bigger role. I feel like he's more involved. Main quest. All in all, you know, Aaron solid, 100%. I yeah, okay. I think I can feel comfortable with him as first as your character. You haven't you haven't touched. Um, second thing, body. Oh, I think part of no, no, no. Oh, I think I have. You guys hear me? Um, I hope. So I changed my mic setting. Try to heavy so that heavy caption. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1. This is gonna be annoying if I didn't get everything. Okay. Part of me wants to go back. I might. Oh man. If you're in the chat, please let me know. I thought I'm the problem with me, but now I watched another video and the sound was clear. Bro, I swear I'm not kidding. If you're still in the chat, let me know if you can like hear me any better, because I don't want it to cut out whenever I'm speaking. If it does, I may have to go back through these characters, which sucks. But if it has to be done, it has to be done. Oof, man. Okay, so I'll just start with this. So Amatis is an F tier character. We kind of went through this. I had some technical issues with the audio, just in case that maybe we didn't hear everything clearly. But Amatis, he's a part of the Burning Blooms mission, and I can't remember the name of the mission where Talana, Aloy, and Amatis find his ex. That yeah. Anyways, find his ex that he used to deal with about 5 years ago. Whenever they were a part of the Red Raids. Amatis is Karja, and again, he was active during the Mad King's reign. before Sun King Avad usurped the throne and seek to have peace within or between Karja and Tanakh. The Battle of the Burning Blooms was one of the worst battles, basically. But he met Talana. Amadis met Talana whenever Talana first went into the Forbidden West and was contracted to kill a Apex Claw Strider. They met. I guess he helped, and they went their separate ways. And Talana caught feelings, and tried to get Aloy to go back and help her search for him. They weren't able to find him at first. They bumped into a shell snapper. Talana got hurt. Then once they were able to get Talana back good, she was healed up and whatnot. She was able to catch wind of the latest location for Amadis. We ended up finding him and going to an area that was preoccupied by Regala's rebels, and we freed the captives that were there, defeated a Tide Ripper as well. And once we were able to open the door to, of course, free the captives, one of the captives was the friend that Amadis was originally looking for. Now, Talana didn't know this at first because I think it was worded a little bit differently, but the person that they helped free, that he was trying to free specifically, was his ex. And now at this point in time, like I said, he had lost track of her 5 years ago, and this is a prehistoric, even though it's a futuristic, it's prehistoric, so they don't have like cell phones, all that extra good stuff. I'm assuming that if you're in this live, you kind of know the basis of the story for Horizon Forbidden West. If you don't, again, check the playthrough. But Amadis was able to get in, come face to face with her, and he was just in shock, like, wow, I missed you so much. But his ex was like, hey, I'm glad that you freed us, but like whatever we had is done and gone. That was 5 years ago. If I was gonna die, I would have been dead. And the fact that it took you so long, I was able to develop my own lifestyle. I identify more with the Tanakh than the Karja. And I'm gonna stay here and do my life, or do me, essentially. I'm starting a new life. I do not want to participate in anything Karja related. I don't want anything to do with you. I'm sorry that it is this way, but it is this way. And that was kind of hard to watch. It was kind of rough. I mean, my boy was a little choked up, and I would be too, because it was kind of harsh the way that it was broken down to him. But yeah. So F tier character, just because he lost track of his wife, his significant other. If you love someone, what would take you so long to find them? Actually 5 years, if we're trying to be exact. Okay, that's kind of baffling if I'm being quite honest with you. But so F tier character, got that out the way. Boom. Next up, Beta. I put Beta at C because she did contribute. Now, she got on my nerves whenever we first saved her from the Far Zenith, from that base, but she was able to contribute to developing a plan to, take care of the Far Zenith and get them in a position to where they can make them vulnerable and attack these people. So it was clutch. But the reason why she's at C is because she led to the demise of, what, if not my favorite character in this game. And I kind of knew he was going to die from the beginning of the game. Even if you watched the part 1 of the playthrough, I said it multiple times. But so she did good. She did do some good. But the fact that, she was who needed to be protected for this person to die, I had to put her at C. It upset me. It upset me that much. It did. But maybe in a further DLC, we might be able to see her come into her own. Maybe she becomes more of a woman in the chair, and she's a little bit more valuable to the team, right? To the Focus League is who I call the core members. Most of them are going to be in the S tier. I think she's the only one in C tier. But yeah, so like I said, boom. Blameless Mirai, we put him at C, bottom of C, just because, I mean, he didn't play any part of the story. It was not, we could have went without speaking to him. He was just there to kind of connect the dots from the first game to the second game. So that's out the way. Dekka. Now, Dekka was one of the ones that was defending Hikaru whenever Regala decided to attack where Hikaru lives. Not only did she hold her own, but she was the one that kind of introduced us to the area, introduced us to Hikaru himself, and put us in a position to be able to get one of the subordinate functions that was needed to be brought back to Gaia so that she could absorb Hephaestus, etc., and so forth. Now, I will say this: she does have a son. There's a side mission with her son. Her son ends up being a traitor, which is not a good look in her book. He went full. He sided with the rebel. He sided with the rebels, and it ended up costing a lot of people their lives. He basically told the ins and outs because he was an insider. He was an inside voice, an inside look. So with that being said, we were able to kind of get that out the way. And what made her so great though was because she didn't give up on her son. He was able to kind of make amends or make it up to basically the surrounding area by protecting where he was being held captive. If he hadn't spoken up, man, so many people would have died, honestly. We were able to, myself, the son, and the person that was holding him captive were able to, follow the son's instructions. He pointed us to an area where they were gathering everybody, machines and different people, so that they could bombard the area. But we were able to put a stop to that based on the information that he gave us. So that's a W in and of itself. But yeah, and the fact that she, was able to kind of go further in depth as far as, the 10 and what the 10 means to them, the 10 being like 10 people, 10 pilots, that were a part of the black box collectibles mission. They were the pilots. The black boxes are basically recordings of these pilots as, they were in the war, and they were about to basically, crash in battle. And that's what made Aloy so special to them was because, she was able to control a Sunwing and ride on the back of a Sunwing. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah. So now that is done, the first S tier was Erend right after Dega. Erend was, he needed a little bit more to do in this story. He was way more involved in the Horizon Zero Dawn story than he was in Forbidden West. Of course, you can play Machine Strike with him. His dialogue, this is a dialogue heavy game, but his dialogue in the game was funny, but you have to take into consideration when we first meet this dude, he's getting tossed up by one of the smaller machines. I think it was a bristle, like maybe 2 bristlebacks, but at the beginning of the game it's very intimidating, but as you go along the game you get more powerful. It's like, really? Anyways, so there's that. He did help us get the embassy started. Not only that, but he was one of the ones that helped storm the Far Zenith base at the end of the game. And then also, if you do the rebel camps missions, he helps you take down the leader of the rebel camps, who decided to join Regala's forces with the Sons of Prometheus, which has to deal with Silence. And like I said, we'll go ahead and get into that whenever we start talking about Silence. But Erend is solid. He's always been solid. He was solid in Horizon Zero Dawn, but I will say he had more to do in Horizon Zero Dawn. The death of his sister and him introducing you and getting you around Meridian, basically. He was a little bit more of an integral part of the story than he was here. So, but yeah. So S tier character, one of the Focus League characters, and like I said, most of the Focus League characters are going to be in the S tier because they're very integral to the story and being able to help save the world. So, now we're going to go into Draka. No, actually, no, I think this is Yara. No, this is Draka. This is Draka. Draka, I'm gonna put Draka at. I'm gonna put him at top C. Actually, no, I'm gonna put him below Beta because Beta was more important to the story. Now Draka is one of the options that you have to choose between when it comes to the next leader of the Desert Clan. It was kind of tough to choose because they were both trash options, and he really got on my nerves because, he was always trying to flirt with Aloy, and I was not going for that. But I mean, if you want more of a detailed look, I do have those missions pulled up. All 3 of those missions: Wounded in the Sand, Thirst for the Hunt, and the Battle of the Vanquished. They're all on the channel, so if you want more context behind him and the next person that I'll go ahead and talk about whenever I'm done talking about Draka, just go ahead and watch those videos. Again, I'm going to link the playlist, the playthrough playlist, in the description for the VOD watchers. But yeah, so Draka. Now, of the two options, I ended up choosing Draka because he just kind of seemed like more of a people person. He was for the people, and I didn't want to put the people of Scalding Spear, which is the place that the position of commander where they were trying to what they were trying to battle for control of, basically. I didn't want to put them through basically another person that would be selfish when it comes to making decisions about the city's future. Now, speaking of, we'll go ahead and grab Yara here. Yara's D. Yara is a D. I can't put her at F just because, I mean, although she was not as good of a person as Draka was, I don't think that the narratives in which these two characters are a part of, I think that his was less important than her. And for what she was doing, it was working to a certain extent, but the fact that the issue of water scarcity and supply scarcity and things like that came up, those things were not her fault. Somebody went in and sabotaged the water pipe that led to the city that was basically providing them with water, and they were forced into situation. Now, part of the reason why she's not as high as Draka was in the field. He was the one that, we met him because he was trying to tend to the people that he went out on a mission with to try to gather supplies so that they could trade for water. And Yara would just send people out to do that dirty work. She was never in the field. But one thing that did make her a likely candidate was because Regala, I guess, had some sort of respect for her. I mean, even though Regala was pushing back against the Tanakh and viewed them all as traitors, she never raised her hand against her. Never tried to, attack Scalding Spear or anything like that. So to a certain extent, they would have been safe behind Yara, but it's only to a certain extent. So we can only give her so much credit. Elizabeth Sobek. This one is an interesting one. I mean, she has to be S tier. Honestly, she is S tier. Not has to be. Let me do that. So without Elizabeth, now at this point, because Horizon Zero Dawn is kind of come and gone, and we're not talking about Zero Dawn specifically, she still is important to the narrative of the story. None of this would have been able to be possible without Elizabeth Sobek. Okay. So we got to put respect on her name, just because, I mean, she was the one that gave humanity a second chance. And her legacy is living on through ALOT and Beta. But yeah, W person, she was the only one that was like calling Ted Faro and company out for the shit that they were doing being wrong. So yeah, W character, honestly, truly and honestly. Since we're on the topic of ancient characters, Ted Faro's a fucking F character, bro. I mean, even though no. Amadeus is way better of a person than him. Man, Pharaoh was just corrupt. He was a corrupt person. And even during the Pharaoh's Tomb mission, again, that's a part of the playthrough. But even during that mission, man, we find out about how he was even more selfish. I mean, during Zero Dawn, they kind of point out the fact that, I mean, he was the one responsible for the machines basically viewing life as biodegradable and needing it as resources, causing basically the machines, the war with the machines. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, he's the ultimate villain. If Elizabeth Sobek is the ultimate hero that kind of gave humanity a second chance, Pharaoh is the exact opposite that doomed humanity. So we're gonna put him at F. He's trash. And come to find out, he tried to stay alive. He was giving himself mutated injections and stuff to extend his life, which is probably technology that the Far Zenith used, but I'll probably have to do that in a story discussion. But L person, 100% all the way. Now Fashav is a B. Man, now here's where we have to reconsider, because although Fashav is a B, does that didn't make Beta a B? Because Beta is definitely a more important character and a better character than Fashav. But Fashav is a warrior, and he didn't go down without a fight. He ended up dying, in the first mission. Honestly, maybe we're giving Fashav too much credit. We're giving Fashav too much credit. He needs to be above Blameless Murad, but below Drax. Now, what Fashav did was, at the embassy, gave Aloy a ceremonial knife, which kind of gave her passage into the Forbidden West. That's the whole reason she's able to cross into the Forbidden West. So, without him, maybe none of this would have been able to happen. He probably wouldn't have met Beta, which I guess would make him just as important as Beta. Actually, okay, we'll put him behind Beta. Put him right behind Beta. And I'm starting to think that we need to put Beta at B. She's the guy in the chair. She's not a warrior. She's the girl in the chair. So I think we'll move her up to B for now. I mean, she still caused the death of one of my favorite characters, but I have to reconcile with that when we start talking about that person. But now I think this is, hold on, let me double check here. Yep, I knew it. It was Gerard. Okay. Now Gerard, this is Lex Luthor. Honestly, reincarnate. Bald head and everything. He's the mastermind behind the Far Zenith. He's the one controlling, or not taking the shots, balls. Calling the shots. That's what I meant to say. He's the one calling the shots. Now, he sent the Far Zenith to Earth. They were in search of a backup of Gaia so that they could restart on a new planet. They had their own planet that ended up being taken out by the Nemesis AI that's apparently heading to Earth at this point. But yeah, I mean, honestly, he was just bossing people around, and I think he got by Tilda. Tilda killed him, so we don't know how he went out. But he is the driving force behind the villain. Now I can't grade him because I don't like him, and he's not developed as much as these other characters. But he is important. He is important. So I'm gonna put him at B. I'm gonna put him at B above Beta. I think that's a fair spot. Picaro. Whew. This man is his own villain. Boy. I mean, if he had killed Regala from the jump, he would not have dealt with half the issues that he did. Now, he is a pretty good leader. I will give him that much. But nobody has sympathy for this dude, which makes me wonder, what is his relationship to everybody in the Tanakh? During the embassy, he was not in the field, which was probably for the best, because Regala was out for blood. At the whole game, she was out for blood. But man, I mean, he was the one that guarded the subordinate function for Gaia. He had everything set up, had his own arena, things like that. He got by Regala though. I mean, he didn't die, of course, but Regala beat him. she could have got her revenge if it wasn't for Aloy saving him with that statue, which I don't know how she was able to keep that statue up by herself. I might have to call Cap on that, but I'm just trying to think of what would make him more valuable than Vashav. Or I mean, okay, obviously he has to be more valuable than Vashav. Vashav was the gateway to Hikaru. Definitely more than Draka or Yara, and definitely Blameless Rod. So B below Beta, B below Beta. That actually sounds fair. B below Beta. Triple B, B below Beta. And I do this because even though he's a very likable person, pretty decent leader, he is his own villain, and half the issues would not be here if he had a followed suit with tradition. Now, I mean, obviously he had a soft spot for Regala, which was why he didn't kill her, which, you know, it makes him a good person. But at the same time, you know, a lot of his own problems could have been avoided if he had just followed, and he even admitted that. So I feel like that's a fair spot. I do. Jataka. Now Jataka is, I'm gonna put Jataka at C, above Mirai, below Draka. Is he a flip flop? He is. But I mean, rightfully so. I mean, Yara was not getting the job done. He was the one that asked Aloy for help to help get water back to Scalding Spear so that they wouldn't have water scarcity. But at the same time, like I said, he is a flip flop. Gotta take that into consideration. Very traditional, a very meh character. So I think that's fair. I think that where he's at right now is fair. I think that's fair. Let's see, Moreland. Moreland is a funny guy, man. He's a funny guy. He gave us the little breather that we could breathe underwater with. Kind of helped point us in the right direction to get to Poseidon, but you know, after you're done with his missions, in his own mission, he ends up trying to make a hot air balloon, and he got crashed into by a stormbird, and he can't fight. Although he was able to set up shop where above where Vegas is, New Vegas. We'll just call it New Vegas is. You guys know the area where the light up stuff is. So, you know, I'll give him some credit for that. But definitely not more important than Vashav. I'm debating on if he's more important than Draka. Yeah, I think he's more important than Draka because we had to get through Moreland to get to Poseidon, and he helped us get to Poseidon, which helped us save the world. So yeah, C in between these two, because he's not as good as Hikaru, not even on the same level as Hikaru, honestly. I still would say because he got us to Hikaru, and that led to us meeting Dekka and, you know, a couple of other characters. Yeah, in the arena area, he's not on the same level. So, yeah. I think I'm with that. I am with that. Now, let's see here. I want to wait on Katala. I actually want to wait on the Focus League. Neil. I'm gonna say Neil is a D character. I mean, just kind of, you do the races, you meet him, he's alive after the first game. So yeah. Very unimportant, but like, oh hey, you're alive. Type. Let's see here. Petra is the homie. She didn't do anything in regards to like either progress in the story or anything like that, but she did help us liberate Chain Scrape. So put her there. Is she better than? She's definitely going to be a better leader than Draka, so I'll put her there. 100%. Chain Scrape is going to be in better hands with Petra, then Scalding Spear is going to be in better hands with Draco. So yeah, I feel comfortable with that. But Draco is a warrior. I feel like Petra might could hold her own. Can't really guarantee for sure. But I mean, even if he's a warrior, if his head is misguided, then I feel like I feel like having your heart in the right place might be better than being a warrior. So, which would also validate her being at D because her heart was not in the right place at all. Regala. This Angela Bassett, her wonderful voice performance for this character, man. I honestly didn't find out that this was Angela Bassett until way after the fact. Whenever I was actually making this list, I was looking for a picture of Regala, and then they said something about Angela. I was like, what? You know what? You know, although I'm shocked that that was her, now that I think about her voice, that tracks. I see that. I hear it. I hear it. Wonderful performance. Her motives. Now, she's an L person. She did try to massacre everybody at the embassy. But, you know, if you talk to her, you kind of get to know why she was doing what she was doing. Still doesn't justify what she did. But in her position, I mean, she lost her brothers to the Red Raids. She found them being burned alive, which is very traumatic, very traumatic. And the fact that Hikaru did not want to press their issue, even though she just lost her brothers and saw them burn alive, I could see why she would go up against Hikaru and see him as a traitor and, you know, adopt the old ways rather than try to seek peace with the new Karja leader, even though he had nothing to do with the Red Raid. But again, you know, mass murderer, L person, but a wonderful voice performance, and motives were very set out in stone. And I also felt like she was somewhat of a threat. So I am going to put her. I'm going to put her below Eric. I think she's a better character than Beta all around because of how she ties into the area of the Forbidden West, versus how Beta ties into Far Zenith and all that. I feel like that was kind of brushed over in comparison to Regala and her dealings with the Tanakh. Now that could be because I didn't choose 50 million different voice lines, but that's just how I feel. That is just how I feel. I got a couple characters I'm gonna go ahead and put at C. There we go. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and put her at C. Banasha, she didn't really do anything. He didn't really do anything either. So he's not bad, but he's not good. Didn't contribute to the story. They're all three of those guys are others. Those people are in Meridian right now, not really doing much. But Rost. The effect of Rost is the difference between Beta and Aloy. S character, S tier character, S tier character. He didn't do anything in the story, but what he taught Aloy is the very reason why Tilda wanted to keep Aloy whenever she went to another Earth to start a new Earth. I feel like that is something, you know, that is literally the difference between Beta and Aloy. So I'm gonna say S tier. I'm going to say S for Rost, aka Cost. Let's see here. Sakura, sorry. D tier. But above Yara. Sakura, honestly, I think she let her brother get burned. I mean, maybe not let. Let is a little too harsh. But she wasn't elite enough to help her brother not be blinded by acid. You know what I mean? in a tribe apart. I mean, you kind of find out their backstory. You know, she's part of Eagle Squad. Her brother, after he got acid in his eyes, she knew that he was going to have to combat until the death. That was the only way out for him, and she didn't want him to die. So what she did was she tried to finesse some supplies that obviously had ran out or either were stolen or something, but it wasn't enough for them to continue on. And in her tenacity, ended up earning the respect of a veteran, which is somebody that kind of played the parts of being part Tanakh, part Utaru, and was able to work out something to where the brother could stay in Plain Song while she went off and fought and did whatever for the Tanakh. But very bland person, very rash, immature. Um, so yeah. But I think that she was not as detrimental a character as Yara, and was more interesting a character than Neil. But because she took the L on her brother, she took the L on being able to survive, her way. If it wasn't for Aloy and Jax, she wouldn't have had a way to kind of keep her brother alive. So, I feel like that's a fair place to put her. Oh yeah. Let me see. I gotta close out of this. Getting into the everybody else is Focus League. Oh, except for this person. Honestly, he's really not even that important. Yeah, I'm gonna just put her here. She's really not even that important. I probably should have took her off the list, but okay. Now we are getting into the Focus League characters. Starting with Katalo, big W, huge W person. W character art. W design, half robotic arm, not half robotic arm. He has one robotic arm, and he, now his new character development is dealing with the fact that he only has one arm and trying to figure out when to use that robotic arm, which does put him at an advantage. He was able to rip out a machine's heart with that hand. And then, dealing with the fact that people are going to look at him different. I mean, people definitely have made jokes about him only having one arm and viewing him as less of a person. You know what I mean? But he proves himself. He can handle himself at any given point in time. I mean, even at the embassy, he was the whole reason why he lost his arm was because, he was trying to defend himself and another person from an attack from a bristleback. So W person, he helped at the final storm. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put him above Ross though. Above Aaron, not above Aaron, but S tier nonetheless. Definitely, 100%. This is Black Lex Luthor. Black Lex Luthor. Now, I'm gonna put him at A. I'm gonna put Silence at A because dude is a mastermind, man. I might not like him, but that's the purpose of being a villain. Possibly an anti-hero based on the ending, but who knows yet? But the purpose of a villain, you're not supposed to like the villain. He's always a step ahead of, well, for the most part, he's a step ahead of Aloy. He's always scheming. I could compare him to a sense to Game of Thrones' Littlefinger. He always had a plot. He always has a backup plan. He always knows somebody. And the fact that he was able to interrogate Hades and then get more information out of Hades before throwing him away, basically, and letting Aloy find out and catch up to him, like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, that is some evil villain shit right there. Yeah, I mean, he's an L person though. I will say that, and every time Aloy wants to smack or go upside his bald head, I feel her on that 100%. But that just goes into the quality of the character. You know what I mean? If it was a bad villain, you might be like, well, I mean, you know. But yeah, and even at that, a lot of times it just feels like he's playing Aloy like a fiddle. You know what I mean? Like he's already looking at the checkmate. She's like maybe 3 moves in. You know what I mean? So I feel comfortable putting him at an A. I put Deca above him though because she's a more likable person. And actually, you know what? I don't even think that's enough to carry her above Silence. So I'm gonna go ahead and move Silence above Deca. That's top A. That's top. Tilda. Tilda is the wild card. But yeah. So anyways, back to what I was saying. Tilda, not necessarily a Focus League character now that I think about it, but she did put them in the position to storm the base. Final boss, wonderful boss fight. Honestly, I actually enjoyed myself playing that last mission. Put us in a position to put him, be above the Far Zenith or defeat the Far Zenith. Far Zenith. Dude. So I'm in between. That'll be honestly, I say top A. Yeah. Ill human being though, she was about to sacrifice all of the humanity for her own selfish purpose. But I figured there was a catch. I don't want to say she was a predictable character, but you look at her and the fact that I went through the dialogue with her, it made it believable enough to where I would go along with her. Like you could tell in that moment that she was genuine, but you also knew that something was up. Like what she was talking about when it came to Sobek and when it came to what the Far Zenith was capable of and what they wanted to do. She was honest about all of that. But she didn't give the whole picture. She kept cards close to herself so that she could present them whenever she felt necessary. And that kind of led to her demise. I mean, honestly, Aloy knew not to trust her, but so yeah. Top A. Top A is pretty good. Top A is man. F's in the comments, F's in the chat. My boy Varro, man. My boy Varro. Now I have to check myself here because I don't want to put him at S just because he died, right? Literally every cutscene fight that he was involved in, he lost. I think that they did not do right by him. And wherever I put him is not really his fault as a character. I feel like if this were a real person, he would want things to play out another way, or maybe he would have put himself in a different position, or at least been able to stand on his own too. I don't even think he was able to stand on his own too. I can't put him at B. That's disrespectful. So I'm gonna put him at A. I'm gonna put him at A above Tilda because I like him more than Tilda. That's that on that. But man, R.I.P. Varro, man. I mean, I could tell from the way that they were trying to build his character up during the game that something was going to happen. Something was going to happen. So, yeah. So I think top A is really good. I think Tilda deserves to go down. I'm just now realizing I'm forgetting 2 characters, but I'll put some extra. I might have to do like a extra TikTok section character. Okay. So Zoe. Shout out to Zoe. 100%. Shout out to Zoe. I liked her more than Katalo. I liked her more than Aaron. Definitely. 100%. Actually, I think I might have liked Katalo, Aaron, but yeah, I think I like. Okay. But yeah, okay. So Zoe, of course, not important as Sobit, but W person, beautiful, can handle her own. Honestly, I see why Var. I saw what Var was looking at. You know what I'm saying? I saw what he saw. You feel me? Her character arc, amazing during the game. You know, being a person of a sort of religious area and then being presented information that directly conflicted with what she believed in and having to cope with the things that she was finding out and how things worked in her world. It was nice to see. It was nice to see. And the fact that she was able to help save Plain Song and set them along the path to be able to become or not have to move or do anything drastic or go down with the area. W person, 100%, 100%. So I'm gonna put her behind Sobek, and I'm of course, Aloy is the top character. She is kind of stupid sometimes. Now I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, you spend too much time with her, you know. And if you played Horizon Zero Dawn as well, being able to compare her character arc from the first game to the second game and seeing her coming into her own, it was nice to see. It was definitely nice. Now when I say come into her own, she started calling more shots. She started putting her foot down more. She started to take control of situations. She seemed more confident in her own ability and more capable as well. I think that a lot of what made her stupid really was just her relationship with Silence, honestly. I can't really blame her when it comes to Tilda because Tilda just knew too much. She was a part of the origin or the origins. She was part of the origins of why, you know, the world went shit. But you know, whenever she has conversations with Silence, she's always flustered, she's always frustrated. And she's only able to get the one up on Silence because of Tilda. So, but you know, going through all of the side missions, main missions, she is a the most capable character in the game. And that is the difference between Beta and Aloy. You know what I mean? She was built with that hunter mindset to be able to deal with the issues of the surrounding areas. Beta was not built like that. You know, she's very smart. She has the intelligence of Tilda, but not the warrior spirit of Ross. And I think that if Aloy can start to learn from Beta, she would be the perfect mix. That's the only thing that she's missing. Sorry. So yeah. I think that so far this is a good character list. Now, again, there's a couple Far Zenith characters that I'm missing. One that hold Varl in particular. I think his name is Eric. I want to put him below F, but we'll just put him at F. Bottom F, honestly. Even worse than Ted Farrow. I don't even care, honestly. But yeah, no. I think this is a W list. I feel confident. Now, this is probably just the first incarnation of this list. So, whenever I decide to make more or add more characters to the list, we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and, you know, put in a short or a TikTok kind of explaining the reasoning why things kind of moved. And then when they come out with DLC, etc. and so forth. Did this take a screenshot or no? Okay, I don't know, but we'll just save it. We'll just download or no, save it.
Above the Earth's atmosphere, recorded on the monitors.
And so now what we're gonna do is start on the Multiverse of Madness. Okay. Thank you, Jalen. I thought I went to my account already. Just reset, I guess. Did this save or no? Oh, it did. All right. Multiverse of Madness. Okay. Now, there have been various rumors circling around some of these characters being involved in this movie. What I want to do here is basically go off of what's been rumored combined with basically the direction they're heading with this movie. What will kind of make the most sense to me, basically. I know. And some of it is, I kind of hope that is the case. Business wise, this is going to further integrate Fox characters into the Marvel universe. We know that much. But what we don't know is to what extent, which characters, of course, and which narrative they're going to choose for the next 10 years. And, certain characters' arcs may not last 10 years, but and with Kevin Feige saying that they have just now gone on a retreat to kind of plan out the next 10 years, this is probably the last of the movies to be just done in any kind of way. I feel like between Endgame and now has just kind of been a transitional period, getting people used to the idea of different types of different characters looking different, sounding different, being from different realities and things like that. None of this has been kind of pertinent to what is going to happen going forward. They've just kind of been putting the pieces in place to figure out how they want to do things. With that being said, there have been rumors about Anson Mount as Black Bolt being a part of it. There's precedence for this in the comics because he's part of the Illuminati. If he is in the movie, I wouldn't be shocked, but also I would say that he would die. So I'm going to say this is likely because there's precedence for it in the comic. 1, 2, he will be the representative of the Inhumans universe, which would establish it as a separate thing, but now kind of connected through multiverse. But again, we're already dealing with mutants, and having to differentiate between Inhumans and mutants is probably going to be too much. So I could see him being a part of the Illuminati, but also whenever Wanda stormed the Illuminati HQ, he dies. So yeah, that's my guess in regards to that. I'm saying it's likely. It hasn't been confirmed. The only people that have been confirmed, we can go ahead and knock those out. Captain Carter, and this is Maria Rambeau as Captain Marvel. Now, take this with a grain of salt. I don't know anything. I can't confirm anything. And we all thought that the Hulk was going to be in Infinity War. The confirmations are coming from TV spot. We all thought that Infinity War was going to include the Hulk. Did not do it. They can CGI anything at any given point in time, in or out of a movie. But yeah, with that being said, I did see the TV spot. Captain Carter's shield was there. And it's looking more and more as they finish the VFX on the binary person going against Wanda in the HQ. Looks more and more like Maria Rambeau. Next up is Deadpool. I feel like this is a staple character. If you're going to introduce people from the Fox universe, this is going to be a staple character. He's not going to be important to Doctor Strange's story, but he is going to be a cameo. I think this is more likely than Anson Mount as Black. But again, this is just, it might just be a quick, well, who are you type deal. You know what I mean? But again, you know, I'm not saying that he is going to help Doctor Strange defeat Wanda or whatever other entity may be behind what's going on. Again, just a cameo. Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider. I'm torn on this because I feel like for nostalgic purposes, it would make sense to go with that version of the character. Agents of Shields, of course, they had their own version of Ghost Rider. So I mean, you always have to keep that into consideration. Wow, I'm not even. I'm,
For instance, you're thinking about your family. You want to be
hold
as
on,
sure
y'all.
as you can that you will all
See,
go on living together.
this over
You want
here,
them to grow up under the
Multiverse
best
of Madness.
possible conditions.
No, I wish I could, but it's just impossible.
Okay, let's start from the top. Ansem Mount as Black Bolt. I think that is likely because there's precedence for it in the comics. He was a part of the Illuminati. Black Bolt character was a part of the Illuminati, which was part of the comic. Two, he would be the representative for the Inhumans universe, which was separated as its own thing, but also included as a part of the multiverse. Three, I think that he would die. I think that he would die in the middle of the movie whenever Wanda decides to storm the HQ, the Illuminati HQ. Now, again, depending on how they go about this, you know, he may or may not be included. But yeah, I would say that it's likely. I would say that he would have a couple lines, and I would also say that he would die a little bit after he's introduced. So, now the only people that can be confirmed somewhat in Captain Carter, Maria Rambeau. These are based on the trailers and TV spots that have been released. Again, even with that, of course, these VFX, they can CGI anybody in or out of any of these scenes. So take this with a grain of salt. Just my opinion on who I think will come in or be in the movie. Now, next up, I want to say Deadpool. I feel like Deadpool is more likely because this movie is supposed to integrate Fox characters into the MCU. And one of the most popular Fox characters has been Deadpool. They already tested the PG-13 version of the movie whenever it came out, and it did pretty well. So I'm thinking this is just going to be, like I said, just a cameo. He's not going to help Doctor Strange defeat whatever entity may be behind everything that's going on. You know what I mean? But I do see him as part of the. I think that he would pop up and maybe he's like, what are you doing here? Or who? Don't I know you? Or he's gonna say something slick, something that Deadpool would say. But maybe it's just as they're floating through the multiverse. Who knows? But yeah, I do see him as part of it. Now, when it comes to Ghost Rider, I think that he, for nostalgic purposes, and this is kind of where it gets tricky because nostalgic purposes, he would include Nick Cage. Of course, Agents of Shield already had their own version of the character, right? Um, but I think, well, they already introduced variants, so they could definitely include him and make that a separate but included universe through the multiverse, the Agents of Shield universe, and maybe that would explain why you saw Samuel Jackson on some of the earlier episodes in the season. Um, but the reason why I think Ghost Rider is likely is because he ties directly into the Darkhold, and Mephisto, and not to go Mephisto crazy or anything like that, but Wundagore Mountain, the Darkhold is just it's more and more likely that they're going to have to deal something either with Johnny Blaze or Robbie Reyes. I mean, especially, and they've already said that they planned on introducing the character years ago. Um, I feel like this will be a perfect opportunity as maybe Doctor Strange or Wanda is looking and peering into the multiverse and seeing different versions of different characters. Maybe you see a separate universe with one of the Ghost Rider variants, or maybe they have their own. They established their own Ghost Rider. You know what I mean? I think, and the fact that we're speaking in regards to these people appearing in the movie as cameos, supposed to be set with the expectation that they're not going to be a detriment or affect the story at all, hardly. And Ghost Rider could be that. Ghost Rider could be, that could establish, because they've already established Moon Knight as an avatar, and maybe Ghost Rider will be the avatar of Mephisto. You know what I mean? I mean he is the one that imbues the people that he selects as Ghost Rider. So maybe that'd be that way of explaining that. Now, as far as how likely he would be in the movie, I'm gonna say I'd be shocked. I'm not expecting it because that's kind of a far offshoot. So I would say I'd be shocked. I would say I would be. That would actually get me hype. Now, this next one is based on the fact that they haven't dropped a trailer for Thor Love, or yeah, they waited so late to drop the trailer for Thor Love and Thunder. And even the one that they dropped was just a teaser. We don't get that much information. We haven't seen what he looks like, which is why I have the comic book version of the character up here. But one, the reason why I think that it would just be a cameo, and maybe as the multiverse expands and blows up and things are just going to shit, the Necro Sword, all black, the Necro Sword was forged in the dimension between the known and unknown, which is basically where Multiverse of Madness is going to. Now, this would be the perfect way to set him up. Now, again, it's just a cameo. He's not going to be a detriment, or he's not going to affect the story at all. It's just the same way in Spider-Man No Way Home, whenever the multiverse was breaking and you saw different versions of different characters, you saw Kraven, you saw Scorpion, you saw just all kinds of Rhino, you saw all kinds of characters. It'll be kind of like that, but they'll actually kind of bleed in, right? Because again, they're using this as a means of being able to set up these characters being a part of the universe. Oh, hold on, let me check the chat. Saw somebody said something. Oh, Jay. Brody, the sound choppy? Oh. It's still choppy, man. It's still choppy. I'm gonna have to. I don't know what's going on, man. I thought I fixed my mic. I might have to end stream. I don't know what's going on. My Twitch streams have been fine this whole week. I'm gonna have to go back through this. I'm gonna have to go through this VOD and see what happened. And I might even have to. I might have to do this all over again. I'll probably have to make a video on this now instead of a live stream. I don't know. I got a lot. I got a lot of stuff to put in perspective. Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate everybody that I can hear everything you say, but it sounds like you got a speech impediment. It chopped slightly. Damn. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna have to do this over a video. Yeah, I just have to do this over a video. Keep going. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. So it's not bad enough to stop then. Cause I'm thinking like, I don't know. Okay, keep going though. It's not terrible. Okay, man. I thought, man. Okay, I'll just have to worry about it later. I'll go ahead and keep going. Give me just a second. There we go. Okay. I have to move this over. There we go. Okay. So now I was talking about Gore the God Butcher and the all black necro sword. Okay. Yeah, I have to go back through the VOD and see exactly what you're talking about because obviously something changed. Maybe I need a new mic. I hope not. It's expensive as fuck, but we'll see. Anyways, but going back to Gore the God Butcher, let me see here. So, you know, they waited so long to drop the Thor trailer. Obviously, Thor Love and Thunder is going to have something to do with Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. I think the reason why they haven't showed the trailer is because whenever the multiverse breaks, this is something that is this is something that's perfect. I mean, not perfect, permanent. I think that whenever it happens, part of the issue going forward, leading into like Secret Wars and the next Avengers movie, is going to be fixing the multiverse. Is going to be preventing incursions. Since the multiverse is open, the likelihood of incursions has shot up like however much percent, right? And so now you got different characters from different universes, maybe even hopping in and out of the universe. You know what I mean? Which would also make it perfect for Kang. But I don't want to get too caught up in Kang because I could end up going off on a tangent talking about Kang. But again, going back to Gore and Thor Love and Thunder, the all black necro sword was forged in the reality the reality between the known and unknown by Null, of course. Now they can use that as a way to establish Gore getting a hold of the weapon. Now, maybe not even addressing it, but just seeing him with some sort of black weapon, you know what I mean? That people can say, oh, that's all black. You know what I mean? And then he goes off and is like trying to do his own thing. Like Doctor Strange does not have time to deal with the amount of characters bleeding into reality. You know what I mean? Spider-Man Far From Home was the precedent for everything going on in this movie. You know, it had the chance to not be a mess, but it ended up being a mess. Now, I would say I think this is likely behind, but less likely than Anson Mount as Black Bolt. Just because I don't think that they want too much association with the Inhumans. Not only was the series not well received, but it would also get confusing trying to differentiate between Inhumans and mutants. So we're going to put that there. We're going to say Logan. I honestly think this is likely, either just as likely or even more likely than Deadpool. Will it be Hugh Jackman? More than likely. And I think he's going to play a different role. He's not going to be jumping around and being the same Wolverine that you expect. You know, maybe they bring him and X-23 over to, you know, over to the MCU, and he's more of a mentor figure and more of a jumping off point for other mutants to enter the MCU. Now, if they include them, would that also then say that they're including the Patrick Stewart era of X-Men characters? You know, rather than James McAvoy and the younger versions of the, you know, the X-Men, are they going with the cameos being the older version? And you know, Kevin Feige, apparently he got his start as a producer on those X-Men movies as well. So I think that would be highly honest. Now, I don't want to say that this next one is confirmed, but you know what I mean? Like, it's almost confirmed. It's basically confirmed. Now, I'm going to put this at likely because I can't say that it is confirmed 100%. But John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic has been fan casted for a long time. People have been wanting this for a long time. He's kind of been toying with people, trolling people with appearing in a superhero movie. And then I also got news the other day that, you know, he's being signed on as the new director for the Fantastic Four since John Watts stepped down, saying that he didn't really want to deal with comic book movies for a while. Makes sense, you know. I mean, come off of such a success as Spider-Man No Way Home, you kind of want to give it time for that to kind of die down, because the next project that you do that's a comic book movie, that's the expectation, is No Way Home. And we already know how the Marvel fan base is, you know. Brutal, honestly, brutal. So let me see here. Now, I mean, we have. This is another one that I forgot to put in the confirm. We pretty much know, I'll start with this one. I'm gonna say I'd be shocked if he was part of it. Michael Fassbender as Magneto, just because, like I said, it sounds like they're going with the older versions of the character more so than not. I can't confirm it, but I mean, it's kind of what it sounds. Now, I will say this really isn't based on any rumor or leak. I will say this is more so like kind of based on my own thought, just because, you know, and we talk about people being CGI'd in and out of movies. Part of me still has hope that the person that is binary going against Wanda is what is her name? Sophie Turner as Jean Grey with the Phoenix. I just feel like that would be a much cooler fight to see than Captain Marvel and a variant version of Captain Marvel. But more than likely it's Captain Marvel, just because, I mean, you know, they're trying so hard to establish her as the most powerful character in but anyway, we're gonna start here. Uatu the Watcher, with everything going on with the multiverse and with his ties to a previous version of Doctor Strange with the What If series, I'm gonna say this is likely. I think it's more likely than Gore. I think it's more likely than Ansem, less likely than Hugh Jackman. He watches them. That's literally his job, is to watch them. And we saw him What If. He was watching over the multiverse, going from universe to universe, watching these different stories play out. And he was handpicking characters, you know, to fight in this multiversal, not war, but like the battle against Ultron Infinite. Well, I don't even know what to call that version of Ultron, but the version of Ultron that got a hold of all of the Infinity Stones. So, and then last two, Peter Parker, Spidey, I doubt it. I mean, they said that they left this door open for more character development, but after that, there was not much done after that or said about that. I think that this is likely, honestly, I think this is just as likely as John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. I think that people have been hearing things swirling around, different cameos being presented. Now, nobody knows who's going to make it to the actual final cut of the movie, but I think that Tom Cruise would be a likely candidate to be part of the final version of the movie. And it would just kind of make sense to me. Not everybody knows the story behind it, but once it happens, and people I've already kind of have the expectation. If you've been watching any of the recent Marvel projects, you know that it's not going to be Robert Downey Jr. every time. He's not next thing. But yeah. Again, like I said, I might have to read this, but let me know what you guys think in either the comments or in the chat. And yeah, kind of had fun doing that. I don't know what I'm gonna do about the I don't know what I'm gonna do about the sound on this. I think I'm honestly gonna cut this live short. Yeah. Oh, okay. Interesting. But yeah, like I said, just let me know what you guys think. I'll go ahead and end the stream now. I appreciate everybody that came through. AA, Jalen, Jay, everybody that left a like. Appreciate it. I know I said I was going to play the game, but I'm obviously having some audio issues. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week. I am going to be on Twitch 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time playing Detroit Become Human. And yeah, again, thanks again, and have a wonderful week. Catch y'all later.